Hey, what's up everybody? Danny Lightning here with another live stream. I got P.G.O with me, who is anti-pirate, but he goes by P.G.O from his YouTube channel. If you guys aren't familiar with him, you might want to check him out on YouTube. So everybody say hello to P.G.O.
Hi guys, good to be here again. Sorry I had to take a couple weeks off, but I think you guys were in pretty good hands.
All right, I see War Machine BOD in the chat. Thank you. Thanks to the moderators for showing up. I see Zach Husky. I see Curtis. I see Good Mood Cat. Farhands here. Ivano, hey, how's it going, bud? Curtis, I think I said hello to you already. Lone Spanker, yeah. What's up? Chameleon, hello. Positively Geeking Out is in the chat as well. Hello.
Hello to everyone who's saying hello to me specifically. It's good to have you guys all here.
MTN, what's up? Blue Sky, Midnight, what's up, everybody? All right, so I think one thing we were going to start talking a little bit about today was pilots, because we just had some new pilots come up, and there's some pretty cool ones out there. Whoever gave me the thumbs down on the stream already before it even started, that's not that's not very nice. Usually I have more than one. I'm a little disappointed that I only have one thumbs down. But yeah, if you guys can go hit that like button, that would be a big help. Please do that, everybody, if you can. Alright, so pilots, alright, we just got a new pilot, which is pretty interesting for your atomizers, your nucleons, and your quarkers. So what do you think about that new pilot, PGO?
Well, I definitely interesting to me, because this is only the third pilot we've had that isn't have a unique skill that's tied to a specific bot. I think I'm getting that right, because the first one was Adrian, of course.
Yes.
And the second one is Basil, and this is the third one. And this one is tied to a specific weapon, unlike the other two, which are a little bit more general. But I think it's neat to see them taking advantage of more potential design space with pilots. Moving a pilot from one bot to another currently is very expensive.
Yes.
If you have it at a high rank, but at a lower rank, it actually can be pretty affordable. So with these, what I call bot agnostic pilots, you can level them up a couple ranks and then get them onto a different bot. So it can be pretty useful opportunity to have. I think I haven't gotten the Samsung pilot myself, but I'd really like to try him out on my Bulwark.
Lone Spanker, thank you so much for the donation. That is awesome. Thank you. I only have one problem with a robot or a pilot that's tied to weapons is I like to change my weapons around so much. Like, is it really good for me to dump gold into a pilot just for weapons? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's an interesting point. I mean, at the very least, you're only really losing the unique skill in that case, and if you've invested in getting other good skills on that pilot, that you can still benefit a lot from it, as long as you're planning on kind of coming back to those weapons.
Just Juice says, what happens when they nerf the weapons? That's my other fear.
Well, the same thing that happens if they nerf the bot, right? Like, you're just as vulnerable with just about anything other than Adrian, and even then,
that's true.
With Adrian, if they nerf the bot that you have it on, you have to retrain all the skills, and if you have him at Colonel, that's hella expensive.
Uh-oh, I think I have. Hopefully that's not echoing back. I just realized my phone was lightly playing the stream in the background, so I had to turn that off.
It was echoing back a little bit.
It's right next to the microphone, so I'm not surprised.
Okay, well, now I'm glad you caught it.
The music, I got my headphones in, so as soon as the music died down, I started hearing it. I was like, oh man. But yeah, I see some new people are coming in. Thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate you guys coming on the stream. And thank you to the mods that are just showing up as well. You guys are all awesome. Now the new Typhon pilot. Not to change the subject, we might get back to the other pilot in a few minutes, but the new Typhon pilot, Lewis Duncan. I'm not so sure about this one. Like it's pretty awesome, but at the same time, it's just kind of so-so. It's a little bit of awesome and a little bit of just so-so at the same time.
I mean, it's a powerful effect because that much defense points is very powerful. But we've seen this before with the Ares pilot. When you only can benefit from it once, it just doesn't really add up to all that much use. Like all the pilots that we see like working really, really well, like Clive, like Yang Li, are things that can augment what the bot does repeatedly over the course of the bot's life. So
now if you
it's not going to be super strong.
Now, if you look at robots like Leech or something else that activates a damage resistance skill, those last what, 8 to 10 seconds? Now, if that actually lasted 8 to 10 seconds, that might be worth a lot more worth using, in my opinion. I would love that, but that 3 seconds just doesn't feel like much at all.
I think 3 seconds can make a huge difference, but
yes and
obviously,
no.
yeah, obviously having that be a lot longer would make it a lot more powerful. But if it had like a reload time, like a lot of the microchips do,
that would be nice too.
That would make it. I think that would make it incredibly powerful. Probably, potentially too powerful. We should look out. Basically, we might be looking at a situation like we saw with the. I mean, look, we saw them come out with 2 pilots basically consecutively for both the Scorpion and the Hawk. So I would not be surprised to see another Typhon pilot in the next update.
Yeah, I do expect a new one to come out. I wouldn't be surprised if 2 or 3 more come out. The way they're making pilots lately, it's like every robot's going to have like 5 pilots eventually. I'm still waiting for a specific hover pilot to come out and give him like a shield.
Where's our
or
hover
something.
pilot, our Strider pilot, our Mender pilot? Like, come on, Pixonic, hook us up.
Come on, Pix, give our old robot some awesome pilots. We need it. We need it.
Yeah, like.
I mean, I was playing Hover the other day, and I mean, he's so much fun. I remember why I love that robot, but I also remember why I don't play him as much anymore, because you gotta walk on eggshells with that thing. The second you go up in the air, if any other robot's around, bam, you're pretty much dead, especially when there's hawks.
Yeah. No, it's just too easy to target you in those situations.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be real careful with those jumps. You need to make sure there's nobody who's even looking in your direction before you jump with that guy.
Yeah, it's why with the Hawk, before they had before that Kyle Rogers was like a thing, the Hawk was a little bit easier to deal with because it was easy to pick it out, target it, suppress it, or lock it down and then get to cover. But now they're just running around. That's the interesting, I think. I'm talking, like I mentioned, that we got 2 pilots for the Scorpion and 2 pilots for the Hawk.
Yeah.
I think most people agree that the second pilot we got for the Scorpion, his name is escaping me, because he doesn't have as much of a place.
Damn Johnny.
Skarsgård?
Damn Johnny.
No, so for the Scorpion. The second one for the Scorpion.
Ash Skarsgård.
Yeah, Ash Skarsgård. Most people sort of agree that he's the better of the 2.
I do agree, but they're both pretty awesome, honestly.
And then for the Hawk, I would say actually Kyle. Kyle is better.
I agree.
Like, it covers the Hawk's weaknesses so well. Whereas Damn Johnny, like you can actually have if you put lockdown ammo on a Hawk, you get 5 times the effect of what you would with Damn Johnny. And with good lockdown chips, you can have pretty much the same effect as Johnny.
Now, I will say this: if you have
not that great of a pilot.
If you have Johnny and even 1 or 2 lockdown chips, he instantly locks you down before you even know what happened. Like the second the laser zaps you, bam, you are locked. But if you don't have the lockdown chips on your drone, he takes a while to lock you down, and he's not that great. But
yeah.
Now as far as
Kyle Rogers is too good.
Kyle is great because Hawk, you do not want him to get locked down. That's a big pain. That's a big problem for him, because if he gets locked down, he falls into the middle of a group of enemies and they all just smash him. He has no way to get back to cover. So I think Kyle Rogers is definitely the better pilot there. Now, as far as the Scorpion pilot, I have both of those right now. And when I switch between one to the next, I honestly don't notice a huge difference, except for Ash has one main advantage. If a robot's running towards you and he's trying to kill you, you can just go ahead and hit that ability. You go into stealth and he can't target you, and then you teleport out of there. So that's actually a big plus. But when you get behind somebody, most of the time by the time they turn around, your stealth is just about to wear off anyway. So there's a few advantages and disadvantages to each one of those pilots, honestly. I think I find. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just the healing that you get from the Iskra just doesn't seem like very much. And I mean, I have one, and if I end up leveling my Scorpion, I'm gonna run it because I do want to have legendary pilots on my bots because it's pure upside.
Well, you know what?
100% upside.
I kind of looked at it. I was like, yeah, that doesn't really seem to do that much. But when I took the pilot off and didn't run a pilot, I actually noticed a huge difference. Like, it does more than it looks like it does on paper, I would say. Zach says, what if they added an OP pilot for Carnage? That would actually be pretty cool to give Carnage a awesome pilot. Road Gaming, hello. Chameleon, what's up? I see more people coming in. Thanks guys. I see Strikers here. Who else is here? Major Koba. Nice to see you guys. Flow Snake, what's up? What's up? Yeah, there's a lot of really cool pilots, but like if you're gonna put a pilot onto your robots, I would say really take a good look at the ability and think very hard. How beneficial is this going to be to my robot before you dump all your gold into it? I mean, there's some really good ones and there's some not that great ones as well. So just be really careful with that, guys. The new. Oh, go ahead.
My biggest question that I ask myself before leveling a pilot up is how long is this robot gonna be in my hangar? Because, like, when you're leveling up a pilot, what you're paying for is the skill, the other skills, not so much the unique skill. The unique skill just kind of comes with the pilot. So, like, when you're really paying the gold, you're shelling out a lot of gold to add the other skills, and if you end up taking that bot out of your hangar, then that gold ends up being wasted. But if that pilot's going to stay in your hangar for a long time, and then you can take them all away, and you can reap quite a bit of benefit. But
now the new Jaeger pilot.
In all cases, okay, yeah, go ahead.
The new Jaeger pilot recently came out, and I'm having a hard time deciding if that's better than the. There's another guy that has a skill for weapons that go over 800 meters.
Yeah, Basil.
Yeah, Basil Lapite or something like that. Now, between those two, I'm not really sure which one's the better pilot to run on the Jaeger. I've actually got both of those as well, and I've tried them both out, and I don't know. I would need to do like a real test where I just shot at something with each one installed to figure out which one actually did more damage.
Yeah, that's an interesting question because against targets without resistance, obviously Basil is better. Just
yes,
he has an effect where Alex won't have any effect at all. But the built-in weapon for the Jaeger does account for a pretty significant amount of damage. So if you're targeting Titans and like leeches and stuff, then it will help. So it will help pretty significantly.
Yeah, that Jaeger cannon does hit really, really hard.
Yeah, I mean, normally a bot with only 2 heavy weapons would be completely unsuitable for a really long-range bot. I mean, even a mid-range bot in the current meta.
Oh,
like
definitely.
two heavy weapons against a Titan, even with their mid-range weapons, you're going to do almost nothing. It's depressing to try to take down a Titan. If you like have a Dragoon bulwark and you have an Arthur coming at you, you're just like, why even try? So that having that extra weapon like helps a lot. And it seems to me that it's like basically stronger than the third heavy weapon. So the Jaeger ends up being almost strictly better than a Fury, for the purposes of sniping at least. So having that weapon operate as effectively against resistance bots as your other weapons, if you're running the railguns, really does come in handy.
It is very nice, actually. Now, wasn't there... I feel like there was another pilot that just came out, but I'm not seeing it on the list. Why do I feel like we're missing one? Yeah, it looks like the latest ones were Sam, Duncan, Damn Johnny, and the Alex Warner pilot for the Jaeger.
Yeah, I think that's it, unless we...
I could have swore there was something else. So what do you think about the Hades pilot, P.G.O?
Wait, which one?
Hades, Liam.
Hades.
Lillin's.
I don't like, again. I have one, and it's on my Hades. And if I level up my Hades enough that I can actually use it, I'll be using that one because tier 4 skills. And you'll get the. But I don't think, again, two light weapons and one heavy is about the same as two heavies. So if you're going to be running at that range, there's going to be a lot of targets you aren't very effective against. So that skill doesn't help very much.
Now, sometimes I like to run the Dragoon and the Marquise on that thing, and that's where it's like, man, that would be kind of nice to have that extra 100 meters, but that's about the only time I ever even think about it,
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's kind of what it's designed for. I just don't think that you're going to have a big enough effect on the battle running that kind of build on a Hades.
Yeah, like I have the Hades pilot, but I'm not really sure if it's worth dumping the gold into it. Even though Hades is like one of the main bots that almost never leaves my hangar. I just don't know if I really want to dump gold into it just to get an extra 100 meters.
I can imagine like a Nucleon Quarker Hades with Sam Stone being really good.
Oh yeah, that would be nice actually.
And that's part of why I like. That's why I like the I'll use the term again, bot agnostic legendary pilots. Because if you have a legendary pilot for the bot and you don't think that pilot's skills fit your build, then you can just go with it's like, oh, we'll just bring in Sam Stone or bring in Adrian. Like I run Adrian on my Invader because I think the Invader pilot skill doesn't really help very much. Because when you suppress someone by 75%, they should save their ammo. So if they're making the right decision, they're not actually doing any less damage because of the additional suppression.
I think most people shoot at you though. I know I still shoot at them.
But then they're making a mistake. They're wasting their ammo, and then when the suppression wears off, they're reloading, and then you basically get to take less damage from them for 10 seconds instead of 5.
Well, P.G.O, I think there's a lot of big dumb dummies out there like me.
I mean, look, with the 50% suppression that Pixonic seems to be moving towards, really does change that equation quite a bit. Like with the Nodens and the Typhon, and I get why they did it on the Nodens. I'm a little bit confused why the Typhon has 50% suppression, because we get 75% suppression on something like a Nightingale, yet the Typhon, who like that's their main thing. It's a glass cannon bot. It doesn't have stealth. It does have the shield, and that shield that regenerates all the time is pretty useful. But you go to suppress someone, they only do half as much damage.
Yeah.
They can still hurt you pretty bad sometimes.
I agree. I guess that's why they made the little damage resistance pilot for them. I'm not really sure. That'll save your butt once, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does save your butt once. I mean, I'm running it, right? I had to run I ran the Typhon for the Evo Life task, even though I don't have a properly leveled set of 4 medium weapons. There was something else I was going to say about that. So, right, I'm just going to say it out loud right here. Maybe I've mentioned it in one of my streams, but I think that one possible nerf that we could see for the Nightingale is have the Nightingale's suppression effect reduced to 50%. And that might also be a nerf that we could see on suppression chips, because they seem to be moving in that direction.
Yeah, that is a very good point right there. Very good point for sure.
But that was kind of a digression. There was something else we were moving towards that was good. Oh, right. I mentioned the Evo Life tasks, but if you have something else you wanted to say...
No, go ahead. If you had something
Yeah.
to say about that, go for it.
Well, it's kind of a change of topic because today is the last day, at least for Android and iOS. I don't know about PC. Did PC get it later? Maybe, I don't know. But today's the last day for that event. So how did you do on the event tasks?
Not good. I'm still working on the space tech one.
You're still on the space tech one. Well, so you weren't really prioritizing it, I take it.
No, I wasn't really paying much attention to it, honestly. Like, I saw a lot of people posting photos of, like, how many points and stuff you had to earn, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's kind of crazy. So I didn't really pay much attention to it, honestly.
Okay, I made it all the way to the 9th task, the Titan one, and I think I will finish that one up tonight before I'm out of luck. But I was like running the numbers in my head last night, and I'm like, okay, so I finish up this Titan task in like 16 games, and then I need to get 30 wins. And I'm like, even if I win every single game, maybe I play FFA, because then I would have a very high win rate. That's still 30 games. That's still like 300 minutes. It's like 6 hours. I'm like,
yeah.
My last test is tomorrow. I was studying for that this morning instead of playing for 6 hours. I think I might have made the right choice. I'm feeling pretty confident for the test now, but I didn't play 6 hours of Overwatch today, and I don't think I'm going to get the chance. I also am going to need to sleep to be able to do my test.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I didn't go too much into it. Was I just knew that it's gonna be a really, really time consuming thing to get through it all, and I don't know. I don't play for 6 hours a day. You know what I mean? I don't play for, I play a couple games here, I hop on a couple games there. That's all I really have time for throughout the day. So
no, absolutely.
It's hard for me to get in like hours and hours and hours worth of playing.
I really like the concept of these tasks, though. They weren't as restrictive in terms of what the requirements were as the Halloween tasks. Obviously, the amount you needed to do was a lot more.
Yeah.
But basing it on the corporations was an interesting thing. And I think it made it kind of fun because you had the opportunity to design around that. Now, obviously, it was more fun for someone like me who has every robot in the game except for Bolt and Shoots, but I still think it's a design space there that I think it's good to see them going into that. And of course, it was designed to make people spend a lot of time playing, because basically Pixonic wants players to do one of two things. They want them to spend money, or they want them to play a lot, because when people play a lot, then you get better matchmaking and you get shorter queue times, and that makes the game play. So, the saying goes around that, like, if you're getting something for free, you are the product. And a lot of people attribute that to saying, it's like, oh, like, free-to-play players are just fodder for people who spend money. I'm not even going to use the term. And while that might be a little bit true, I don't think that's explicitly Pixonic's strategy, but they do want the free-to-play players to play a lot, because that does fill the queues up and keep the queue times down and give them more raw materials, as it says, to work with on the matchmaking system.
The other issue, though, with playing a lot is if someone plays too much, they're going to get burned out, and then they're going to get sick of the game.
Yeah, no, that is a legitimate concern. You definitely get a lot of comments like that when people like post their picture of their Nucleon or their Phantom, or what were the other rewards for the arena tasks? Like there was the Loki. One of them was a Loki.
Yeah,
one was a Phantom.
But I'll tell you, there was a time when I did have a lot more time to play this game. All right, and I did play it a lot. There was a couple months there where I wasn't as busy. I was constantly playing. My thumbs weren't all messed up, so I could spend more time playing on my phone. And I'll tell you what, I got to the point where I got so burned out, I would cut down to like 1 or 2 battles a day. You know what I mean? And then for about 3 months, for about 3 months, I really just didn't even want to play the game very much at all. I'd get on for 1, 2, 3 battles, and that's all I could stand because I'd burnt myself out. So after a couple of months of not playing very much, you know, the burnout went away and then I got back into it. But a lot of people, once they hit that burnout, they don't come back. They just stop and then they're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've actually
it is just a mobile game.
I've actually been on that burnout period 2 or 3 times in the past when I just did nothing but play. So it does happen. So in the long run, burning people out is actually worse for the game because they go away and they never come back.
Yeah, that's a really good concept, and I wonder if Pixonic tries to track that specifically, because I mean we should all know by now that Pixonic tries to make their decisions in a data-driven way, as do a lot of businesses, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm literally studying that kind of thing in school right now, and I really hope that they are at least thinking about approaching the data they have with that level of nuance. Like, oh, people are playing this much, but like they're like you know, people are playing this much, but like how, like when people play above a certain amount for a certain, like, does that cause them to later play less? Like, I really do hope that they're looking at the data in that way, because that might give them some better insights into the long-term effects of the decisions they make.
Let's see. Let's check out some of the comments here. So I just saw a comment about someone who was saying they're currently going through a burnout. Where did that go? It just scrolled down and now I can't find it. Okay. R3D zone, red zone, I guess. He said he's been grinding for the last 7 months because he's insane, and now he's starting to burn out. So it'll get you guys. It'll get you. I mean, how many of you guys go through the burnout here? Let us know in the comments. Tell us your burnout stories. And let's see what else. Let's see if we have any questions or anything up here.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways of looking at the burnout thing. I just want to address one comment quickly. Zach is asking if we heard about a trading system and 2 new Titans. I'm sure they're going to come out with new Titans. It looks like they're probably their first step for the Titans is going to be to give each corporation 1 Titan. Because, well, I don't know how to count. Which corporation is Kid? Because I know all the other ones. But I don't know Kid.
I'm not exactly sure, honestly. I've never really paid too much attention to the little backstories and stuff like that. Like, I don't read any of that stuff. I'm too lazy.
But yeah, I think they're trying to fill out all of the corporations for Titans. So I'd have to count it up, but yeah, they're going to come up with more Titans. As for a trading system, it's basically been it's been explicitly ruled out. There's a suggestion thread on Reddit, and they've basically said that just doesn't work. And it's actually kind of obvious that a trading system would really short circuit their entire system of the game. Like the economy of the game would be completely short circuited by any real trading system. And when we had something that was sort of like a trading system, people abused it by using chargebacks in different regions, or I can't remember what the actual scheme was. So just the ability to gift just even resources, not items, but just resources, was abused by players. So I don't think we'll be seeing anything like that.
One problem is they were getting people who were like hacking the game and then selling the resources and stuff for real money, and that pretty much shut down any chance we ever had of a trading system, because you know what? A handful of people ruin a good thing for everybody because they get greedy and start being dishonest and doing things that they shouldn't. So, nah, I don't think we're ever going to see a trading system, honestly. But as far as the new Titans, I haven't actually heard anything from them, but that does not mean they're not coming out. There's a lot of rumors that do float around. I think there was supposed to be one more Titan they were developing, and we haven't seen that one yet. So for some reason they brought out the Minos instead, which I was a little bit surprised about.
I mean, it's a pretty straightforward logic. We've got the DSC Arthur, the Space Tech Ming, the Evo Life Nodens, and the Icarus Minos. Like we're definitely going to get a Yandy Titan, like guaranteed. There's going to be a Yandy Titan at some point in the next year. Like I would put down money on that.
Tell me this, P.G.O. You may or may not know this, but Ragin, who makes Ragin?
Oh,
do we already have a Titan from that group?
They might be Yandy. I'm trying to, off the top of my head.
I keep hearing the rumor about the Bastion actually making it to the game. I mean, that was teased a long time ago. And
well, I mean, the most recent tease I've seen about the Bastion was the possibility that it may appear when they eventually get around to doing player versus environment content, right? Like having a skirmish where you just have a bunch of players taking down Bastion.
That would actually be fun.
Kind of how I would envision that. That's kind of what I'm imagining for something like Bastion, because it is a really old design. They'd have to really kind of rework it to make it worthwhile as a Titan.
Well, there's a lot of rumors about that thing coming out, though. But
well, I mean, was that maybe based on the pictures of the solid Jaeger, though? Like,
no, it's been a major rumor for quite a while. I'm always hearing about it, but now that the solid Jaeger came out, like it's re-kicked up the whole Bastion rumor thing again. So
yeah, no, I mean, there was actually an official post on Reddit from one of the community managers talking about some stuff from the producer, I think one of the producers of the game, and they actually said that they are thinking about doing the PvE, the player versus environment content, but it's been kind of pushed back because they're working on a lot of other stuff that affects the core of the gameplay, right? So there was further confirmation of the platform merger going into its next stage in early 2021, so that's something to look forward to. But yeah, we're probably not going to see PvE content for a long while, though it's definitely something that Pixonic is thinking about.
Yeah, I think that would actually be really fun to have something like that. King Warp, he asked, will there be a new currency coming out? I don't know. I kind of feel like it might not be a bad thing to have another currency for certain things, but at the same time, we've already got quite a few currencies, so I'm not sure if they're going to bring out a new one or not. I haven't actually heard anything about this. Have you, P.G.O?
No, I mean, there haven't been any rumors, and there definitely... Currency bloat is like a legit problem that you can have, and so if they were to add a new currency, they'd probably want to take one away, and I can't see what... Like, the current currencies are all very, very clear about their purpose, and I can't see them actually taking any of them away, so...
Yeah, I can't really either.
So, like, I think it's something cognizant of. They've done a... I hesitate to call it a good job, but they've been working really hard to keep gold relevant. Like, back in 2018, when I first started playing, there was a period where gold was actually, like, kind of not very useful. It was like the couple months leading up to when modules first got released. It was like, I guess I'm going to spend my gold on silver boosters because there's nothing better to spend it on. And they fixed that. They fixed that problem.
Yeah.
With finger quotes, problem. They fixed it quite handily with the drones, the modules, and the pilot rework. Now we've got lots of things to spend gold on. Too many, I would say, but, Yeah, we're all hoping that the new servers get rid of the lag. I don't know if you guys saw it, but they put out a newsletter thing recently, I guess you would call it, with a survey on it. Yeah, I can't remember where all it was posted. I know it was on Discord and probably over on the Reddit page, and I would guess on their Facebook and probably even their YouTube page, but it has a bunch of multiple choice, or you can fill it out and tell them what you're seeing problems with,
what you think the worst things about the game currently are, and what you want to see changed. They ask all kinds of really good questions, so if you guys haven't filled those out yet, I would definitely go over there and try and do those surveys, guys.
Like, I found it very strange that when I did that survey, they didn't really have latency, like actual lag, on the list of options for things that were like a problem with the game. They had low frame rates, but I have a much bigger problem with low latency than low frame rates.
When I filled it out, it said low frame rate / lag or something. It was both on the same one. I wonder if they reworded it since you filled it out, maybe?
Yeah, I didn't see. I was looking for that option. Like, I want to click that option. I didn't see it, but it's possible. I'm very tired. I am always very tired these days, so maybe I just didn't read it right. I don't know.
Yeah, those two were put together on the same one when I did it. And that's the one thing I clicked on. I also clicked the one for matchmaking about being put up against full clans when you're playing solo. So those were the two things I
think I clicked
picked.
that one as well. I think I tried to write in something. I think squad matchmaking needs to be addressed on something. Like, it's not just a matter of squads being matched against randoms. Like, that is definitely a big problem.
Yes.
But part of why that happens is because the difference in power that you have between some squads, like a typical squad that could be fielded by like a C rank clan, like versus this kind of squads that you see from a lot of the S rank clans, there's just no contest. And like, they need to address that somehow, because what people do is they will get players from different regions to start the squad, so that the squad is associated with a different game server to try to avoid other squads. They'll switch game modes to try to avoid squads.
Yeah.
So when players do that, and I've done it, right? Because I just don't want to run into a guaranteed loss.
Yeah,
right?
I'll wait a while
like,
sometimes before starting in a
new
game.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, okay, so we just got trashed by that squad, so we're going to wait 30, 45 seconds, a minute even. Hopefully they get a game, and then we'll queue.
Yeah.
And we're trying to avoid them. So you have players doing all these things to try to avoid being matched against other squads, and it's hard to blame them, because those are basically guaranteed losses, and they're going to lose a bunch of clan rank points if they're in a clan squad. But because of that, then their squad gets matched against randoms, and then they trash them, and it's like, but so I think there's a knock-on effect, and I think that they need to look at how squads are punished for just kind of like going in and trying, right?
Yeah.
If you go in with a clan squad and just try against another clan squad, you're going to get punished for it. And I think they need to stop punishing people. And now would be a good time, because the rank point system needs to be addressed, because without the inflated ratings that we used to be able to get in Champion League, it's very hard to rank up clans now. Like, even if you're good, you're going to rank up your clan way slower than you used to, and it was already hard.
Yeah, we definitely
need
a few changes in that department for sure. So, Pix, if you're listening, all right, these are a few of our demands.
Yeah. Rank point rework.
Or at least hope you'll do something about it.
I mean, like, we're not really in a position to make demands. The way I see it, a rank point rework is almost necessary at this point. They've completely derailed the rank point system with the way they changed the rating point system, and I can see why they didn't change both at once. Those systems are kind of separate systems, so they wouldn't necessarily think to rework them at exactly the same time. But the rank point changes has basically necessitated the rating changes have basically necessitated a change in the rank system.
I see Midnight Rambler's here. Welcome, Midnight Rambler. He says, I've noticed on P.G.O's comment section that the Nucleons are getting nerfed. I'm not sure where you saw that, Midnight, but as far as I know...
I heard that there was a change for them on the test server. I actually haven't been playing test server the last few weeks, but I heard that there was a recent test server where they had like a 7% damage nerf.
Well, the thing was that actually something they were testing, or was it just the way the weapon currently was set up on there? Because a lot of times they don't get that stuff right. I actually didn't play last weekend's test server, but if they didn't actually say, hey, we're testing a balance change on this weapon, then more than likely it was just whoever made the test server didn't get something quite right. Mm-hmm. And hopefully that's what it was.
That's a possibility. I do remember hearing somewhere else that when they next do a rebalance, that the energy machine guns are definitely in consideration for being rebalanced.
I would expect. I would probably expect a new mid-range weapon to come out if that's the case. I would expect some sort of other 500 to 600 meter weapon, because that's usually when nerfs happen, is when new weapons start coming out. So
I mean, there is that element of it, but I think for the rebalances, the bigger part of it is how the degree of penetration that the weapon has into the user base. And if you're playing in Champion League nowadays, if you go for a center beacon, you're getting hit probably on like 3 sides by energy machine guns. It's already, I mean, it probably isn't that bad in the lower leagues, but that is already the state of things. Like, these weapons are incredibly popular. When I see people, when I do like Hangar reviews for people, I'm like, well, like, these are almost the best weapons for almost every bot. Like, some bots, for some bots, the sound weapons are better, but obviously those are harder to acquire at this point. So
harder to use too.
It's kind of easy to recommend the energy machine guns. It's really easy to recommend them, except I've stopped recommending them because I don't know how much they're going to get nerfed when they do, and they are going to get nerfed.
Eventually, they're definitely going to get hit. Yeah.
It might not be in the winter, but I'd say by spring, we're going to see something.
The Ghetto Blasters. Curtis says the Ghetto Blasters need nerfed already. I don't really like the fact that they take away healing. Like, I love those weapons, but I think it sucks that they take away healing. I mean, that's a little bit too... I don't think weapons should have abilities like that. You know what I mean?
The fact that they take away healing, at least what that does, it gives them another dial they can turn when it comes to nerfing them. If they change them so that they instead of being able to heal 0% of the damage they do, that you could heal, say, 40% or 30% of the damage they do, that would actually be a very moderate way of nerfing those weapons.
But, I mean, since they're still brand new, I really don't think they're going to...
No, they're not. Like, we're going to look at 9 months to a year from when they got released before they're likely to get nerfed. Look at the cryo weapons, right? And the energy machine guns. Cryo weapons were released in the Halloween event last year, and they got nerfed like September or late August.
Yeah.
Right? Almost an entire year. The energy machine guns, they first started getting released. I think it was like in the spring of this year, and we're talking about like maybe nerfing them now.
Yeah, I guess that is about the
it's
about
9
the time
months to
frame.
a year. Like, I mean, like, obviously Pixonic can change their plans going forward, but that's the pattern that they've fallen into as of late. Is 9 months to a year for those kind of nerfs. So we don't expect the sound weapons to get nerfed. Like, yes, they're powerful, but they're gonna wait for them to disseminate.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite a while. Now, Good Mood Cat made me laugh a little bit here. He says some fun ideas for picks: landing on an enemy or jumping on an enemy should deal damage. We do have a couple robots that are like that, sort of. We do have the Mercury, which if you land on somebody's head or next to him with it, that does some damage. Or one of P.G.O's favorites is that big, nasty, creepy crawler.
Invader. It does this tiny, just because they like to use damage for tracking whether things get hit by things, it does do a tiny amount of damage with the Invader. I have gotten a kill that way before, but
now the other
that would
day
be an interesting Invader pilot, though. I would love to see an Invader pilot that just causes the incursion to do to do incursion. To do just a whole bunch of damage. Maybe like no damage if you're just in the 100 meters, but like a ton of damage if you land right on them. That would be hilarious.
Curtis says cryos should never have been nerfed. Cryos are extremely powerful weapons. They're still just brutal. I mean, if you can level those things up enough, they're brutal. So I don't really see a problem with the cryo nerf as long as they don't do it again.
I could see a case for them to have maybe not nerfed them evenly, because like I think Glacier is actually still quite strong. Like the thing that they nerfed all 3 weapons the same amount, I think cryo, not like cryo, but the cryo, specifically the medium one, is actually pretty weak now. It's not a great weapon. Huh. But like Glacier is still actually quite solid, and if they had maybe not done 20% on all of them, that might make more sense. But like, yeah, Glacier was too strong.
Yeah, Glacier was ridiculous.
There's a lot of issues with targeting and lag affecting these weapons as well. But like, if they remove the lag from the game, I think Glacier is going to be like still an amazing weapon to use. And it was legitimately overpowered before the nerf.
Yeah, I haven't really been using my rocket weapons too much, mainly for the fact that I don't like how long it takes to reload those things after you run out of ammo. It's just like, man, it's going to take me a year to get ammo back, and I like to brawl. I don't like to just kind of hit and run. Now, they are really fun on the Phantom, though. I still love Phantom with those rockets. I don't know why, but that's just a blast. They can be really good on the Scorpion as well, but I don't know. I've just never loved rockets on anything except for my Spectre back when he used to be good. See, Darwin James says we need a robot with a grappling hook, so you can drag an enemy back into the line of fire. That's a pretty interesting. Thing right there.
I think something like because because the Arthur exists, because we have actually seen bots that can move enemy robots. That something like that isn't out of the question. Something like that could happen.
I think somebody's been playing a lot of League of Legends. I used to play that game, and there was actually a character on there that he's got a hook like that. I think that was League of Legends, familiar. Wasn't it?
I mean, it's probably every MOBA, honestly. I feel like they all have that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to remember that guy's name. I used to love League of Legends. Back when I didn't have the nerve and muscle problems, and I could sit in my chair as long as I wanted. Man, I used to play that game so much. I loved it. Well, I haven't really played it at all. Mark Watts says, "What about a healing station?" A healing station, it would heal the permanent damage on each side, or for evil effect, just one in the middle. Huh. That's a pretty interesting thing as well. I kind of don't think we're ever going to see that. But if a map had like a recharge station, that would be kind of cool.
I've had like some ideas myself about like adding beacons to team deathmatch, but having them have some other effect on the game rather than be a victory condition. Particularly because that would allow you to activate the adamant and raider skills in that mode. And in terms of healing the permanent damage, one thing that I would be interested in seeing them do is maybe make it so that that the bots like Tyr, Mender, and Wayland and all that may have some potential to have a higher potential to heal than chips and pilot skills, so that when you have the sound weapons or something like that become a much bigger part of the meta, that those bots, the healer bots, still have an effect.
War Machine.
That's just an idea.
War Machine. I don't have any good way to go back and find your message at 6 minutes and 46 seconds. I'm not sure how you even... I mean, the chat just keeps scrolling, so I would just have to scroll and hope that I saw it on there. So I'm not. Can you repeat it, maybe?
Okay, I think he means the one where he's saying, they said that Pixonic released a letter saying they will spend money to make better changes in the future, and that just seems really vague. I mean, better changes and Pixonic obviously has to spend money to make any change that they make because they need to pay developers to make the changes. And I don't know what they mean by better changes. So I actually saw that comment, but I didn't have enough context to really comment on it.
Okay, I missed that one, but I think that's what they're talking about as far as getting the new servers and stuff, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, if they're talking about the servers, then yeah. I think I heard at least a couple weeks ago that they were thinking about doing replacing the servers, because and my understanding is that they're that they're paying for they're outsourcing it to some extent that gives them a certain lack of control that might be resulting in some of the lag that we're seeing, and they're finally recognizing that they need to kind of bring that more in-house, and have a more purpose-built solution, because there are very specific situations where that lag tends to come up when you. I mean, I always had it with like Ojuns taking off, and you see it a lot when you have like phantoms and scorpions getting really close to you. Because I'm getting hoarse from talking so much. Getting the bots moving really fast when they're close together does create a higher load on the servers in terms of collision detection.
Midnight says my Arthur would destroy the healing station. It would definitely try. Red Zone. How about a bot that stays in phase shift and only fights with its ability button? We actually have something like that, which is called a Loki. That's about as close as we're going to get to that. I don't think they're going to have anything that can stay in permanent phase shift, unless it has to come out to use its ability. But we already do have a Loki.
Yeah, so that would basically be a Loki, but with phase shift instead of stealth. Interesting piece of design space, but I think the Loki's design actually works really well for a couple of reasons. Is that stealth doesn't make it immune to being damaged. There are a lot of ways to deal with a Loki, and you don't necessarily have to have quantum radar in order to do it.
Permanent phase shift would be a little too strong.
Phase shift isn't like that. There's no way to get around it. So, giving a permanent way of doing that, I think would be really, really hard to balance, and I don't think Pixonic is going to go there.
Loki 2.
Maybe just buff Loki.
King Warp says, will they add a new map? They're actually working on a couple new maps. I'm not sure when we're going to see them. There's also several maps that we do have which have been removed from the game because they're working on getting the new remastered graphics on the new maps. So there's probably about 3 or 4 maps that we're currently missing. Plus there's a new one that's supposed to be coming out as well. So we should see.
So I think whatever team they have working on that it has their hands full getting those maps ready and then doing the community map. What was it called?
I can't remember the name. Mine, I think.
Yeah, mine was the concept. Let's go to the placeholder concept. They actually came up with a name for it. I didn't like the name personally. It was kind of boring, but whatever. It looks like an interesting map.
It's going to have spots where you can teleport on it if they decide to go through with that. You would just run into the teleporter and it would actually teleport you to the other end of the map. At least that's how it was on the test server when they were testing that map. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Someone's asking, Marcus is asking, do we think the game will survive 2021? I think in some form it will. Honestly, I think even if the game dies, it's going to take its time.
Yeah, I don't think the game is going to die anytime soon. I think this game's got a lot of life left in it. Especially, new players are going to pick it up. We're just going to keep gaining and gaining more players, I do believe. Midnight, jumping Loki is fun.
It is a pretty old game. it is a pretty old game. It is going to have a harder time picking up new players if it's like rankings in the app stores kind of tend to slide. But I think there's definitely potential. Like we're talking about new servers and stuff like that. There is potential for Pixonic to right the ship. So I think if it dies, and I'm saying it will be a slow death.
Yeah, for sure. Red Sky, that's actually a pretty cool idea you have there about healing modules that can heal yourself and teammates. That would be pretty nice, to tell you the truth. You should start sending some, get on like their Facebook or something, you know, even their YouTube page, and leave some comments about stuff like that. Maybe their, you know, Reddit, their Discord. That's a pretty cool idea. King Warp, yeah, they do add very big updates occasionally, but the bigger updates are usually like when the new stuff comes out. So most really small updates are just little updates to, you know, fix bugs and stuff like that. But every couple months we have a bigger update with, you know, a lot of bigger changes.
Yeah, I mean, they used to do the biggest updates would be the ones where they like release like 3 new robots.
Yeah,
but they've tended to people complained that there was just content was coming out too fast. So now they've kind of stuck to releasing like 1 robot at a time. And when they do release weapons, they usually are just like weapons that kind of do the same thing in different slots. You know, different hard points.
Yeah, it was kind of nice when 3 robots came out at the same time, but it's also nice when it's like one every couple months now, I guess. Big Ron says we have no right to give advice because we're super noobs.
Looking at that comment and be like, should we even dignify that with a response?
Why not? Why not?
I feel like it's verifiably untrue, but there's no point of fighting it. I mean, I don't claim to be the best player. I don't hang my hat on the idea that I'm the best player. I don't brag about that kind of stuff, but I still routinely receive compliments on my play, and when I give advice, it's based on logic and facts. And you know, to a certain extent, my own feelings of how something plays, but that's always secondary. Like, when I say, hey, get weapons that have similar timing on your bot, it will work better. Like, that's not something I need to back up with my ability to aim, because that just makes good sense.
Now, Big Ron, as long as that's your honest opinion, you know, you're allowed to have your opinions, and it's okay to express that. I enjoy all kinds of criticism, even if it's bad, so thank you for the comment, bud. Let's see.
What else we have here?
But everybody's entitled to their own opinions and stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I greatly prefer criticism that involves that's specific enough that makes it actionable. But, you know, whatever. Most people, coming up with actionable criticism is very difficult. It takes a very intelligent person to give really good criticism.
Thanks, Mason. You know, the one thing I had a lot of fun with was the day somebody showed up on my channel and left a comment about how ugly I was or something like that. And I made up a story like how I fell into an acid vat or something and turned into the toxic Avenger. I can't remember.
I wrote this
whole big story, and the guy actually wrote back, and then I wrote another like big stupid line, and then I never heard from him again. But some comments, even if they're negative, you know, are kind of fun.
I know I've gotten, especially on like some of my videos that get more views, I've gotten a fair number of comments about my baldness.
Yeah,
my hair just like, look at his head. I'm like, yeah, it's a normal human head. It just happens to not have hair on it.
Yeah, mine's thinning out. I don't like it.
Your skills of observation are are, I don't know, they're pretty mundane.
It kind of sucks going bald, but you know what? It is what it is. You know, we can't help it if we go bald. My hair.
Well, my wife has a job now, and there are effective treatments. Who knows?
What kind of job does she have? Does she do hair treatments or something?
No, she has she's a technologist at a local. Anyways, point is, finally I have some money coming in, and treatments now exist that can be paid for baldness.
Yeah, it used to be
But
they
honestly,
had to do surgery.
I don't really care.
I care.
Yeah,
I like having hair.
Like a lot of the baldness treatments back in the day, like just weren't effective. You know,
it was like surgery, and they put like surgically installed little like fake hair plugs under your skin and stuff. That's no fun.
That sounds nasty.
Sounds
There's
awful.
actual pharmaceutical treatments that are actually effective now.
Flow Snake says effective treatment equals wig. Yeah,
well,
that's a good one.
I am thinking about getting some silly hats to wear on stream, so wigs could be included.
Yeah, one of the reasons I usually wear hats is my hair is thinning out, and for some reason the webcams aren't the best cameras, guys, and the webcam makes my hair look like 10 times worse than it really is. So anyways, enough of our goofiness. We should probably get back on topic with some game stuff, because this is not a hair transplant stream, guys.
Yeah, it was a short digression, though.
But yeah, sometimes it's fun to get off on a little side something or the other, I guess. Let's see. Anybody have any questions? Any questions? Any comments you'd like to hear our opinions on?
Man. Here's something. I just, something other. So we're wrapping up the event tasks, but the event is still going for like another 20 plus days.
Thank you, Spanker.
You think we're going to get a second series of tasks?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. Because Christmas isn't quite here yet, so.
Yeah, when the event started, it was nearly 40 days long, right?
Yes.
It's a long event. I haven't even opened any chests yet because I'm saving up to get enough to get the special prize on the 200. But yeah, I'm hoping for a second series of event tasks because I had a lot of fun with them. So I'd like to see what else they have planned for that mechanic.
Midnight Rambler says, let's talk about building a hawk. What do you want to know about building a hawk? Is that even in the workshop yet?
Maybe he means putting weapons and modules on it.
Yeah, please be very specific, Midnight, and we'll try and get to your questions here. Are you wanting to know what weapons to put on a hawk? So far, anything I've put on there has been excellent, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, the Quarker and Nucleon stuff is obviously a very popular choice. Works really well. Shredders work really well. I run Glaciers because effect chips. I love suppressing someone just as I come out of my ability because it buys me time to get to cover.
I'll tell you, even when I put Punisher and Avenger on that thing, it's still brutal.
Yeah. Because Avenger's at least easy to level up, so you can get those high level benefits.
He wants to know when will Pixel let us build a hawk. Unfortunately, it's been really random as to when these things end up in the workshop. So unfortunately, they don't really give out any of that data out until all of a sudden they're like, hey guys, it's now in the workshop. So I don't hear about it until everybody else does most of the time, or if I do hear about things, it's usually 1 or 2 days in advance. They don't give us they don't even give their their sponsored YouTubers or whatever. They don't give us a whole lot of extra notice on most information. My speculation, I'm just gonna put on my speculator hat because whatever. We're probably gonna look, if it came out at the beginning of September, probably March. I'm gonna go somewhere around March. You know, back
That's
in the
just a
back in the day, they used to sell every robot for $99, and now they just keep them in the crates for a long time. But I remember when you could buy new robots as soon as they came out. It seemed like almost, I don't know. I remember, I could be wrong, but what I remember is as soon as a robot came out, it was $99. And then eventually they decided to put them in the crates, or at least leave them in the crates for much longer. And now we just really never know when something's going to pop up. So that's pretty interesting if you're seeing it for sale in the daily deals. That probably means we will see it in the workshop pretty soon.
Well, what I've noticed is that like we don't have Scorpion in the workshop yet. But what we've seen is the Scorpion is still in the event crates, but it's showing up in the operations, like just Scorpion components. So if you've got like a part of a Scorpion from the crates, and you see, oh, there's like 1,000 or 2,000 components for the Scorpion in the operation pass, then like that might tempt you to buy the operation pass to finish off the Scorpion. So
yeah,
I think we might see the Hawk take a similar stop in the operation pass before it gets released.
That's a good point, actually. Red Zone, which bot should I upgrade? Or which bot should I build first, Loki or Phantom? Man, that's a tough call between those two, because those are both really fun little robots. They're both excellent. It kind of depends on what fits your playing style better as to which one you would build, I think. I mean, would you rather have like a... What's that?
There's an element of playstyle. What I would say is that, do you already have good weapons? Because if you have good weapons, Phantom takes good advantage of that. But if you're hurting for good weapons, Loki's a bot that can perform regardless of what weapons you put on it.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Loki is definitely more like a troll, like a troll guy, hard to kill, people can't hit him, to where Phantom's more of a brawler. Phantom's basically a brawler / beacon runner, and Loki's mainly like a troll / late game beacon grabber, I would say. So I would say whichever one you think fits your playing style better is the one to build first. I love both of those robots, honestly.
Midnight Rambler is asking about if a weapon or bot goes on sale for really cheap, does that mean it's going to get nerfed? I don't think that there's I don't think Pixonic is expecting to nerf those things when they put them on sale necessarily, but obviously the longer something's been out, the more people can get it. And if a lot of people get it and use it, then that's going to be a signal for nerfing. So they're not, the two things are not completely unrelated, but it's not like this. I really don't think it's like this specific scheme that's like, okay, we've got a nerf in the pipeline, time to put it on sale. I don't think Pixonic is doing that.
Now, I've been seeing Redeemer sales for years where they're on sale for like $3 or $5 or $10. Redeemers are constantly on sale, and they just got buffed. So I don't necessarily think just because something's cheap right now in the daily deals means it's going to get nerfed.
Yeah, so there's a natural progression, right? Like, you know, stuff that gets released and it's super expensive, and then more people get it and the price goes down, and then more people get it and the price goes down, and if it's still a really good weapon, everyone uses it, and then it gets nerfed. Like, it's gonna happen.
I don't understand why YouTube has this top chat and live chat setting, and why every time I go into a live chat it takes me to the top chat where you only see some of the messages. I just realized I was on the wrong setting. Why wouldn't it just show you, you know, all the messages? That drives me nuts.
Yeah, I think, I mean, in most cases, even when it's on top chat, I think you do still see pretty much all of the messages, but I don't know.
Nah, because I just switched and there's all these messages here that weren't there before I switched, so...
Oh, well,
it actually made a pretty big difference.
Huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here I wasn't seeing actually. That's crazy.
I'll have to pay closer attention to that in the future. I
Let's
didn't see a big difference. Anyways, it seems like we're starting to run out of steam a little bit. I forgot to bring a glass of water to the desk with me.
Go grab one if you need to.
Yeah, I think I will.
Gen Un says Redeemers are just decoys. Redeemers are some pretty awesome weapons, bud. I'm not really sure what you mean by their decoys, but I'll tell you what, those things are brutal. If you level them up enough, they will smash your face in and make your robot cry. But you might be meaning in a different way. I'm not really sure what you mean by that, but I like the Redeemers a lot. Yang Lee pilot should be for the Al Quinn, says Good Mood Cat. You know, he needs something. He needs something like that. Al Quinn needs some love. That's not a robot that really has an easy time these days.
It's certainly a bot that would benefit from a legendary, a really strong legendary pilot, but I don't think that's on their to-do list, honestly.
I think I just had a discussion about that on one of the last couple of streams I had. That's a really cool robot, but man, he just gets shot down the second he goes out in the air. I think that guy is basically designed for lower league players. Yeah,
which, it kind of mystifies me why they would just design something like that just explicitly for the lower leagues, because it creates a trap, because there's no reason why you can't just skip it. And it's the right decision to just skip it. And then they're putting design work into something that should be skipped. And it's just kind of awkward.
Hey guys, I see some people talking to Big Ron on there saying like, oh, if you're, why are you here and stuff, but everybody has their opinion. It's okay. I mean, as long as he's not on here like being, too terrible, but don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it, no big deal. Someone has their opinion and that's okay. You don't have to argue with them or fight with them or stick up for us about it if you don't want to. Try and keep the chat fun and positive, everyone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that robot's designed for lower league players, but he had a lot of potential, but he's just not that great, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I do remember the guy wanting to eat flesh. That was a little strange, but that's okay. But then again, if you really think about it, anytime you eat a hamburger or a hot dog or a steak, what are you eating? Well, you're eating flesh, so honestly, I guess it's not really that weird if you think about it that way.
Hello there, Wasabi Apple. But yeah, like someone was saying, like something about spending on gold, using gold to get the O'Quinn and stuff like that. But Mom, to illustrate my point more, I'm just gonna say, like, you can run Leo's and Natasha's and then skip straight to bots that you would get from the super chest, basically, or the workshop, and there's no reason to stop in between and waste your gold on those kinds of bots. That's my point.
Yeah, I hear you on that one for sure. Yeah, welcome to the people who are just tuning in, and anybody we haven't said hello to yet. Sorry about that. Sometimes when we're going on our little rants about stuff, it's kind of hard to say hello to everybody as they come in. But thank you so much for being here, guys. We really appreciate all of you popping into the streams. It really makes these streams a lot of fun when you guys show up and everybody's got good stuff to say and all that kinds of I want to say junk, but it's not junk. You guys definitely aren't junk. All right, I call everything junk for some reason. Like, I collect a bunch of gold and I say I'm getting my free junk, even though it's not junk. It's actually really good stuff. Just a figure of speech, I guess. Good junk.
Yeah, call it stuff.
Stuff, junk, things, doodadders, you know. It's all the same. It's all the same. Lone Spanker says crap sandwiches. Yeah, we could call them crap sandwiches, I guess, but I'm not going to call you guys crap sandwiches. That just wouldn't be very nice. Wasabi Apple finally got a full Nucleon Quarker because Quarker is finally available in the workshop. You know, it's taken so long for those to get into the workshop. It was crazy. But I'm actually pretty glad they're in there, to tell you the truth.
Well, it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to... Sorry. I personally, I'm just trying to figure out why Pixonic changed the plan, right? Somewhere between Atomizer and Quarker Nucleon, they said, we're going to just change the schedule. And I'm like, why? Why did they make that decision? I must know.
I kind of have a pretty good idea is when it's not in the workshop and it's in the crates, I would say there's a lot more chance that people are going to start buying tokens to get it compared to build it. So I think they actually make a little more money off of keeping it out of the workshop for a longer period of time. Curtis, yes, I've had many good coffees lately. The other day I about choked to death on some coffee. I took a little sip and it went down the wrong way and I about died. I might be over exaggerating a little bit, but I was hacking up a lung because I swallowed my coffee wrong. Gave you guys something to laugh at though. Let's see.
Midnight asking about why the operation doesn't have more platinum. I think it's because it's so short, and they don't want to give people the access to that much more platinum in such a short time frame. But
yeah, the last couple operations were only 10 days long, so they did have a little less platinum. But if you were to buy it every 10 days or whatever, that would actually probably end up being just as much, if not more, than one of the longer ones, I would think.
More over time, but less for your money, right?
Yes.
But yeah, so if they gave you the same amount over for your money, but in less time, the total amount that you could get every 30 days would be much higher. And I assume that they're just trying not to dole it out that quickly. But
Turbo Knight. Oh, were you still going ahead? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say when they're changing numbers on these things, it's always to a certain extent an experiment. Like they're constantly tweaking the value of these things to see how that affects how many people buy it. Right?
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, I'm not gonna buy this. I already have a Jaeger, so I'm not gonna buy this operation. I'm not gonna spend my money on it. So vote with your wallets. If you think it's not worth it, don't buy it.
Turbo Knight asks if Jaeger has the potential to brawl with 3 fortifiers. The problem I have with Jaeger brawling is there's too many fast little robots and scorpions that can just pop inside of your shield and smash you before you even know what happens. So I've tried very hard to brawl with the Jaeger, even with the 3 fortifiers, and I just can't get it to work. Have you tried anything like that, P.G.O?
Only really on the test server. I want to try some more. I do want to maybe try nucleons on the Jaeger, or avalanches, but that's kind of the closest range I think it's going to be able to do much.
I've tried several times on the BR account. I mean, that's a maxed out Jaeger with maxed out everything, and I would just get stomped every time I tried to brawl. Like that robot just didn't even stand a chance. Now I've heard some people are actually good at brawling with it, so maybe it's an acquired skill. I don't know, or maybe I was just really unlucky. Have you given it a spin with avalanches on the BR account? I don't have. Unfortunately, I don't have that many weapons on there.
Yes, that would be.
I'm still waiting for them to send me a bunch of stuff because I got a brand new BR account. So I basically have the energy machine guns. I think I have 2 skydiver cryos. I got the new sonic sound weapons. I got some of those old school Punisher and Punisher tees that I leveled up myself, and anytime something new comes out, like a special edition weapon, they send that, but they usually only send 2 of those, so I don't have a huge selection of stuff on the BR account yet. But I think I was trying to play it with Nucleons, and I think I tried to play it with... I feel like there was something else beside the Nucleons that I tried, but I can't remember what it was. Might have been... No, I don't have Avengers. Maybe I have Avengers on there. I can't remember. Anyways, all I can say is I can't brawl with that thing at all. Doesn't work for me. Wasabi Apple, I made a really nice build video on Cerberus the other day, and I was actually surprised at how good he was. The problem is you need so many pilot skills, and you almost need to have the 3 fortifiers maxed out, because he really relies on that shield. But if you can get all those pilot skills and stuff, Cerberus is a mean machine. Like, I was quite impressed. But if you don't add all those pilot skills, not so much. It just dies too easy.
The one thing that sets the Cerberus apart from the Typhon is the fact that its ability reloads a lot faster. Typhon has more firepower, and I don't know the exact numbers on the shields, but the Typhon has that smaller shield, which has some significant advantages. And I would say that the ability lockout is better than the dot, but not by a whole lot. The ability lockout is actually really hard to use because people will just activate their ability as soon as you fire at them. Or, you catch them in a part of their ability cycle where they didn't have their ability ready anyways, but you need it to suppress and lock them down. So having the 10-second reload instead of the 16-second on the Cerberus is a significant advantage.
And Cerberus shield. All right, if you get those pilot skills plus the 3 fortifiers, his shield recharges.
It's only 2 fortifiers, Danny.
2?
It's only 2.
Okay,
because you can't put
the
3
2
modules
fortifiers.
on it. 4 slots for all bots.
But that shield recharges so fast on there. If you have all that stuff on it, it's crazy. The Typhon, his shield just doesn't charge as fast, I've noticed.
I don't think we're set up to do Hangar reviews here right now. You'd have to change your scene pretty substantially. The 2 of us do have Discord servers, and I think you do some Hangar reviews on your Discord, don't you, P.G.O? I'll talk to people about it on Discord. I was doing published videos of it, but they weren't getting a lot of views, so I might test it out again later. But I do them live on stream sometimes, but I usually expect people to watch for a while and get some points first. But sometimes I'll do it for a new subscriber.
Yeah, Midnight, I'm still hoping we get a legendary pilot for the hover, because he's awesome, but he just needs a little bit of something when he's in the air to keep him from being blown up. The only Wasabi, though, the other problem with a bigger shield, though, is it's easier for enemies to shoot your shield when you're behind cover and take it down. So in some ways, the smaller shield on the Typhon is actually better.
Yeah, I would say on the whole, the smaller shield is better, but if you can position yourself to protect teammates, to take advantage of the larger shield, that can be very useful.
Can the Cerberus take an Ancile shield?
No.
I don't think so.
It can.
I don't think so.
Turbo Knight's asking if I'm going to stream Mech Arena live, and I do actually plan to do that. But I just need to get into a slightly better spot with the quantity of content that I'm making before I branch out.
No, you cannot put an Ancile on the Hawk. There's actually quite a few robots that cannot hold an Ancile. I can't remember what it was, but there was a specific robot I got, and I was like, the first thing I did is I wanted to put an Ancile on there, and it wouldn't fit. Oh, Hades cannot have an Ancile. I was really bummed out about that. It's not something I really would plan on running all the time, but I just wanted to try it out for fun, I guess.
So King Werp is asking, how do we take care of people hacking or exploits? Well, we have the advantage of often being set up to record when we play. So I know what I do when someone's hacking is I get my recording software going and I post it unlisted on a different YouTube channel and send the link to customer support.
Yeah, something
That's
like
how
that.
I deal with hackers.
Screenshots. They are coming out with some new reporting tools. So when you see people cheating or doing things they're not supposed to be doing,
but video proof helps a lot.
Yes.
Like Pixonic, if they're going to ban someone for hacking, they want proof, right? They don't want just hearsay. So I like to record it. Now, honestly, in Champion League, you don't see it very often. Or at least that's my experience. You will see it in lower leagues, but those accounts usually get banned before they go higher. And they probably aren't even trying to rank up. They're just trolls, right? Because there's no like good benefit in like being able to. Benefit's not the right word, but there's no accomplishment in being able to hack your way into a high league, right? So they're probably just trying to troll lower league people.
All right, guys. So I think we're probably going to stream for about 12 more minutes, 13 more minutes, something like that. So if you guys got any questions, get them in ASAP before we shut the stream down, guys. Most of the time when we do this, you can expect us to stream for an hour and a half, something like that. So I think it's about time to end this here in a minute. So get your questions in, everybody. Yes, Wasabi. I believe the Ansio does work on the Behemoth. At least it did on the test server.
Yeah, I mean, it can only go in the permanent slots, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
so it always works because it only goes in the permanent slots.
Yeah, the other two slots you cannot put one on.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, War Machine.
Jaeger with Chimera. I haven't tried that. I could see that having its uses.
Chimera, what's Chimera? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that would be a pretty interesting setup.
That's the heavy Hydra.
Yeah. What's the range on that thing? Do you know?
600 meters.
Actually, that might be kind of nice, to tell you the truth.
Because you could just pound someone with the Chimeras, and then if they come out of cover, you're adjusting, like they expose themselves, then you hit them with the that big cannon as well. Man,
now I wish I had a couple of those on my BR account so I could try it out. I think tomorrow I'm probably going to do a video. Actually, tomorrow is my live stream, isn't it? I got a live stream tomorrow. I need to do a video on the new Jaeger. I was thinking about trying some brawling weapons on them, just for the heck of it. I know some people even get like the King Days and throw them on there, and they seem to work pretty good.
Yeah, in the lower leagues, it's a weapon that matches up pretty well with the bot's playstyle.
Adrian says, is it true that the United States, they earn a lot of money? I guess you're just talking about people in general in the United States, but...
Compared to the rest of the world, yeah. I mean...
Well, put it this way.
I don't know if, like...
There's a lot of people that have no money out there, and there's a lot of people that have more money than they know what to do with, but... I mean, there's a lot of poor people and a lot of rich people and a lot of people that are in between, so... I mean,
yeah, I mean, I've gone like there's like you can get like books or like web pages that like tell you like if the world was 100 people, this is how many people would make this much money, and like comparing all sorts of different things. And I know any job that like with my university degree or with my wife's university degree and our technical diplomas we have on top of that, like if we were looking for a job, we'd basically only really want a job that would put us in like the top 1% of income earners in the entire world, right? Because there's just so many people who make so little. So yes, generally people who live in North America, US and Canada, the developed parts of Europe, the more developed parts of Europe, make a lot of money. They do. Cost of living's higher, so that affects things. But yeah, people in the U.S. make a lot of money. They also spend a lot of money on healthcare.
Yeah, the government takes a huge portion of our paychecks. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, comparatively less in the U.S. than in a lot of other places.
Midnight says, would either of you battle with the Jaeger if it was not maxed out? Well, I've got a level 12 Jaeger on my personal account, and it works almost as good as the maxed out one, to tell you the truth. So I would say yes. I mean, I would definitely play it as a sniper.
Yeah, I think I Mark II'd my Jaeger just because, 350 gold isn't that much, and there was an event, right? So, I think the thing is my problem is that most of my gear is starting to approach maxed out, and I don't think I'd want to run a Jaeger below the level of my other gear because mid-rangers and long-range bots tend to be a bit more sensitive to how well-leveled the weapons are. So I would at least want maxed weapons on it before I really considered running it.
Marshaw, I think the Al June needs to get back at stealth when it lands, and that would be kind of nice, actually. I think they nerfed him a little bit too much. I would love to see him get a few things back because he's just not that fun to play anymore. He used to be one of the most fun robots in the game, and now he's just kind of okay, I guess. I mean, he's still not a bad robot, but I just don't enjoy playing him now.
Yeah, I think the flight, the ascending and descending stealth, really makes it important because I've seen, I think it's pretty rare, but I've seen full health Ojuns die before they got to the peak of their flight. Not very often, but I think I've seen it. It's pretty bad.
Hey, Crazy Killer, it's Amatage. Hey, what's up, buddy? Good to see you again. Thanks for coming out to the stream. Unfortunately, we're just about to end it here in just a few minutes, but good to see you again, bud. It's been a while. Will there be a special event like a tournament for champion people to play? King, there's actually a bunch of tournaments that do go on, but they're not really ran by Pixonic. Pixonic actually sponsors them, but somebody else kind of puts it together and runs it, and then Pixonic helps out with it, I guess you would say.
Yeah, and the way that they're doing those.
What's that?
The way that they do those, it's open to people in any league because you just have to, because they usually use Hangar. They're done in custom games, so it's not limited to Champion League.
Yeah, everybody has to use the same Hangar.
I think Pixonic is considering some new ideas for competitive play, so there might be some of those that are exclusive to Champion League. Who knows?
All right, Marsha, have a great day. Yeah, that would be cool if they ran some of their own championship type things. Personally, I'm not someone who really likes to get into competitive events like that. I just like to play for fun.
Like I think they had like a survey, and like one of the options on the survey was like a 3v3 game mode that's only unlocked at certain times, and it requires you to go into it with players from your clan or something like that. I don't know. I think they're brainstorming some ideas for competitive play.
Yeah, we definitely could use something like that. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. Alright guys, so I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream, everybody. I mean, we really appreciate you all coming out here. It's so much fun getting to chat with you guys and, talk to you and answer questions and hear your guys' opinions on things, even if they're not good ones. even if it's someone who doesn't like us very much, I still appreciate that for some crazy reason. But yeah, thanks so much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I really enjoyed chatting. It's a lot of fun. Good to have you guys all come out. And if anyone does think I'm a noob, just let me know what I need to do to prove otherwise, because I'm always up for a challenge.
I hear it all the time, actually, that I'm a noob. That's all right.
Just, be specific. Be specific. Tell me exactly what I need to do to change your mind. And I don't think the bot's posted it lately, so I'm going to throw my channel link into the chat as well.
I will say this. There's been a few people in the past that have called me a noob. I don't really do one-on-one battles with, subscribers anymore, just for the fact that I had to stop it just because there were so many people sending me requests to play. But there was a few times where somebody would tell me I was a noob and want to challenge me, and most of the time I would beat them up. I think there was only one guy I can really remember that I had a hard time fighting with, and he had maxed out everything. I'm guessing that was probably why, but it wasn't someone that called me a noob, but American guy. I used to fight him all the time, and he stomped me every time. But most people I've done one-on-one with, it's always been really fair, or I've won, or maybe even if they won, it was still a very good match. But I haven't met a whole lot of people who have stomped me. I don't know if that was just by chance, or maybe their hanger wasn't as good as mine. I have no idea. But I don't think I'm the best player in the game, but I wouldn't say I was a noob. I wouldn't think. But you know what? If anybody thinks I'm a noob, that's fine, guys. Not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't personally like playing 1v1. I think War Robots is more about the team game experience.
Agreed.
But hey, I think I have a thing on my channel. If you get 100 channel points and want to spend them on challenging me to a duel, go ahead.
Real quick, last question before I cut the stream off. One person said, how is the pilot Sam with the Hades? Is it worth building? If you're positive you really want to run those weapons on the Hades, and you don't think you're ever going to change them, it's actually a very nice pilot. But if you think you might change your weapons or at some point in time, I don't know if it's worth dumping the gold into that pilot. Hades, yeah, amazing robot. That new pilot's also amazing, but like I said, are you sure you're always going to be using those weapons?
Yeah, that's definitely. Are you sticking with the build? Because I think that is definitely Hades and those weapons work really well together. So putting that pilot on there makes complete sense. But it is contingent on keeping that build in your hangar. Absolutely.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much. We got to run, so you all have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow around noon Eastern time, 12 p.m. Eastern time, with a gameplay live stream, and then I'll be back for the same thing on Saturday as well. Hopefully every Wednesday night, me and P.G.O. or me and somebody should be doing a stream like this, just in case P.G.O. can't make it. I'll usually try and find somebody else to
I should be good for the next month.
All right, cool.
At least.
Awesome.
And I'll be streaming Saturday morning, and I might even be able to fit in another stream between now and then. So,
yeah, P.G.O. often,
see some of you guys there.
He often streams before I do on Saturdays, so you might catch two really fun streams in a row if you check us both out on Saturdays. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. You all have a great day. This has been a lot of fun.